We've been around a little over 5 years. I've had people say, hey, why don't you go to Lafayette? Why don't you go to New Orleans? And I think that the key to our success is that we are here in Baton Rouge. We know the politics. We know the culture. We know the people. I don't know anything about Lafayette politics, or I hear stuff about New Orleans politics, but they've got it covered pretty well down there. I like to tell people, our readership, they would rather go to the Spanish Town Ball rather than the Debutante Ball. You know, they have money. They may consider us as a guilty pleasure. They may not just go scream to the mountaintops that they read us. But I'm constantly surprised by the number of the people who come up to me and they find out who I am and they say, dude, I read your stuff all the time. Love your magazine. I'm like, you? Satirists, especially in this day and age, you have all this BS. You have pundits out there. Nobody's intellectually honest anymore. If they're on a news outlet and they're doing other than just reporting the straight news, if they have an opinion, they're carrying the water for somebody. And you can tell they're not intellectually honest. Satirists are the only ones, I think, are truly qualified nowadays to cut through the BS and call BS on whomever. There are no sacred cows. Everybody's biased, but are you intellectually honest? That's the key. And all these people that say, well, it's just comedy, it's just a comic. Ben Franklin and Thomas Paine often wrote satirically. Two of the greatest voices that shaped the founding of our very nation were satirists. Do you want to just dismiss them as a couple of comedians? I'm not trying to say we're more important than what we are. A good satirist knows self-deprecation is the key, keeping yourself in check. But satire is very important because you know, politicians, public figures are always going to do things in their self-interest unless somebody is out there calling them on the carpet. And I think satire is a great way to do that, because when you make people laugh, you let down their defenses and they'll listen to you. There are a lot of people that have advertised with us along the way, especially in the early days when we didn't even know what the hell we were. And they went with us and they advertised with us and they supported us. And it's amazing because of the first year, I don't know how we survived, but we did. Along the way, I gained an appreciation for the gay community, because if it wasn't for gay-owned and gay-managed businesses in Baton Rouge, we wouldn't have survived the first year. We wouldn't have made it. Well, one thing a lot of people say is they pick up the cover and they're looking for the story that has to do with that cover, the cover story. A lot of times there is no cover story per se. A lot of times the cover is a standalone entity all unto itself. We may or may not want to comment on it, like the David Vitter cover. I had somebody email me, where's the story about David Vitter? Well, the cover is the parody in and of itself right there. So we're different like that. There are no set rules saying that if you have a cover, you have to have a story relating to that cover. We weren't even a year old when Mayor Holden was elected. And we managed to get an interview with him. And we had Jermaine Jingles, the angry black man. While we were talking, Jermaine said something about he's new sheriff in town, new sheriff in town. So that kind of stuck in my head. And I said, wait a minute, Baton Rouge is first, black mayor, new sheriff in town. Holy crap, Blazing Saddles. Well, come to find out, Kip Holden's one of his favorite movies is Blazing Saddles. So we had a nice copy of it printed up. Myself, Jermaine, and Heath, our cover illustrator, all signed it, framed it, and I gave it to him, and last I heard, he's got it hanging in his office. People say, where do you get your material? I live in the capital city of Louisiana. Where do you think I get my material? Our mission statement is, we are Baton Rouge's comical enema, curing political impaction and cultural constipation. So we feel like it's our duty to help Baton Rouge loosen up.